high definition. This is Wave 3 News.
Good morning. It is exactly 6 o'clock on Tuesday, November 18th, and it feels like January 18th. Take a live look from Air 3 this morning. Jefferson County Public Schools, after taking a snow day yesterday, up and running on schedule. But check the bottom of your screen here this morning because there are lots of 2-hour delays in many school systems, many of them in Indiana this morning. All right, let's set the table for you here. There's some random woman out on Broadway going to tell you how cold it is and how the roadways are doing this morning. Chris is on top of the road situation, not in live drive this morning. Let's get out to, before we get to Brian, let's get out to that woman I just talked about out there freezing. Good morning.
Good morning, John. It is cold. I mean, the wind really started to pick up really within the last 30 minutes. So these wind chill numbers, as Brian will tell you, are brutal. JCPS in class today on time. Owen County schools closed, and we continue to scroll the delays and closings at the bottom of your screen this morning. I'll tell you what, this is the coldest it has been in nearly a year. Live downtown right now in Louisville, not too many people out. We typically have the workers heading into the hospital this morning. We've seen about 3, and they're brave ones. Not very many people coming out this morning. Definitely a day to crank up the heater and really stay inside if you can. Another very cold day, and in fact dangerous for some. Brian Good this morning touching on frostbite conditions. Definitely an issue as we head throughout the remainder of the morning. Depending on how low we go and with the snowpack in place, these temperatures really set to tumble. Let's check in now inside with meteorologist Brian Good with the latest on what we can expect if you are just waking up this morning. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
I'm going to bring this cold with me inside, guys. You're going to stay inside in the nice warm studio.
Well, just a heads up, Lauren, the air conditioner is on in the studio right now.
It's still cold, I know.
So prepare for that. But it is still warmer, even the AC on here in the studio.
We'll check it all again for you within 15 minutes.
All right, Chris, our first measurable snowfall had us dealing with a blanket of white. There was, but today the story shifts to the freezing temperatures left behind. Brian was just talking about that'll have you wanting to stay under the blankets this morning. So let's go back outside to Lauren to get more on the conditions and the battle to clear the roads as the forecast calling for record lows today we haven't seen since 1880. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, John. I feel more like Rudolph instead of myself, my nose. I'll tell you what, cold in these temperatures. The big story of the morning, again, is the temperatures, but with that, ice on the roadways. All the slush left over yesterday. We are live right now in downtown Louisville, and with that, crews out salting all day yesterday, even this morning. By yesterday morning, Metro Public Works went through, get this, 18 tons of salt. That's more than 40,000 set aside for last winter. Both INDOT and crews in Louisville plan to add calcium chloride in an attempt to prevent water freezing on the roads. A big issue when we have temperatures this cold. Metro Safe reports they received about 14 more calls in an hour than on a normal day. And with the temperature falling this morning, folks, it's important to be prepared before you head out the door.
The battle plan from the snow team is always to have the greatest impact in the shortest amount of time, and that happens by going on the major thoroughfares.
Yeah, most of those interstates this morning looking pretty good. I was driving in on 71. I didn't see any issues. However, if you are on any of the downtown roads this morning, we just have a few pockets of ice around the area. That will be the concern as we look ahead throughout the remainder of the day today. And don't forget the ramps and exit ramps as well. If you're heading to work or school this morning, those could be causing a few issues for folks out there as well. We have online wave3.com a list of all the roads that have been cleared, and of course, more on the school closings and delays this morning as well. John, we complain a lot about coming out in the cold the last few days. This morning, this is nothing compared to that. This is very cold weather. You'll want to be prepared when you head to the bus stop as well.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting, Lauren, when you started your report, you didn't see this. Right behind you, a guy pedaled by on his bike, looking at you like, what is your problem? There's no problem out here.
Like I'm a baby, right? Props to him.
He was on a bike. I couldn't believe it. All right. Thank you. Now, the weather can prove unpredictable at times, but without fail, a snowy forecast brings a 100% chance of crowded grocery stores as we feel the need to stockpile bread and milk every time bad weather comes. However, the extra sales may not be the bread and butter for those stores. One U of L associate professor explains the threat of severe weather can sometimes force the stores to change their routes or suppliers to stock certain products, which can leave them in the red.
So now you've just added more transportation, longer times, more costs to the process.
At a Kroger in Hillview, the store manager tells us he saw huge crowds this weekend. On average, he'll order up to 30% more milk and bread if snow's headed our way. Remember, you can track the Arctic blast from the comfort of your couch by downloading the Wave 3 News mobile weather app. For the latest forecasts and interactive weather maps, you can find it for free right now. Just search the Wave 3 weather in your app store. Now, an American dream turns into a nightmare for the family of a cab driver found shot to death over the weekend. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what prompted 3 teenagers to shoot and kill Papa Cham, a 31-year-old cab driver from Senegal. Police found Cham dead in his cab with a single gunshot wound to his torso Sunday in Newburgh. His uncle, who lives in Louisville, says Cham moved to the United States to work and send money back to his family in Africa.
It is devastating. This is a shock. We are all from Senegal, West Africa. We're here to take advantage of this land of opportunity. We want justice to be prevailed.
Wow, he said land of opportunity. Police have named robbery as the possible motive. Caught on camera, a group of regular customers rushed to help a man who collapsed inside a gas station. It happened at a Better Way marathon station on Cane Run Road in Shively, where the man had a severe seizure and fell to the floor. Workers called 911 while customers comforted the man for 10 minutes till help arrived.
It really wasn't that big of a surprise. That's how good of people they are.
Saying it's going to be okay. Help's on the way. It's going to be okay.
EMS took the man to the hospital, and other than a black eye, he's okay. The store's owner says he wants to thank the customers who helped by giving them a free lunch. 6:08 on your Tuesday, the cold snap gripping much of the nation creates a harsh reality for one family after a teen is found dead in the snow. That's coming up.
And it looks like it's going to take reinforcements to get the kids out of bed this morning. It is a cold start to the day. In fact, record-breaking in some areas. Details coming up after the break.
And coming up in our next half hour, we'll give you a chance to go a little bit country at the Coyotes Acoustic Concert at the Yum Center, December 3rd. Watch and win 2 tickets. Look at the big names there, Little Big Town, Luke Bryan. It's all coming up. We'll be right back.